guys, it's Kat at Kat Reviews Books. I am back with another review. Today we will be talking about Wool from Hugh Howey. If you do not know Wool, you probably have heard of Silo. It has been adapted into a TV show, so let's just get right into it. Overall, for this book, it was one that I read towards the beginning of the year, so please bear with me as I have read a lot since then and have maybe forgot some details. But I ended up giving this a 3-star rating. It was honestly my most disappointing read of the year so far. And that's to say something because I have had other books that didn't make a lot of sense or didn't really connect with me so far. But I was expecting to go into this loving it. I love dystopian. It's my favorite genre, so I was very, very excited to get to this. I went out of my way to buy the collector's edition, which has, it's got this art print here, and then here, which if you've read the book, you'll understand why the art prints are that way. It also has these, little blueprints on the dust jacket. So I really wanted to love this book because overall, gorgeous. I know that so many people have put this as one of their favorite dystopian reads, and that a lot of people have loved it, but I have also seen a lot of people say that this was originally a novella and that it should have stayed that way because as soon as Hugh Howey expanded it, they said it kind of lost what it was going for. For me, a lot of this book felt like it was unnecessary, which knowing that it was a novella before it became a full book makes sense for a lot of the reasons. A lot of the questions I was having and a lot of issues I was having with it as a overall book. I felt like the first 200 pages gave us no answers to the questions we were asking, so I was kind of bored in the first 200. If it takes 200 pages for me to get excited about a book, I know that I'm not going to probably love it, especially considering most books, that's over halfway through the book. I mean, most books are going to average about 300 to 350 pages, so if I'm 200 pages into a 350-page book, it's obviously not very good. This one, however, I was like, okay, sure, it's a 500-plus page book. Maybe it'll get better. Did not really love any of the characters. There is a bit at the end where he's jumping back and forth between perspectives, which is not a thing I super enjoy. I don't hate it, I just don't love it. But he talks about the same scene for 3 chapters with one of the characters, which I felt like it was kind of unnecessary, and I get that it was to build suspense and to make you go and things like that, but I was so annoyed at that. So I just felt like a lot of the things that I was looking for in this book were missing. I just felt like a lot of it was flat. I felt like it was a bit of a letdown. I wanted to like this because it is a trilogy and I was going to read the next book, but once I got to the end of this book and I was just like, I will not be continuing with the series. I'm sure maybe the rest of it's really good, and I'm sure it would have been great to see the different silos discovered and everything, but that's not something I care to continue on with. I did, however, start watching the show Silo, and I think that it does a phenomenal job of giving us what the book can't at the beginning. They did add a lot of things that I feel like make more sense, and again, don't make you question things that are happening. I will say that, of course, if you don't know anything about the book and you go into watching Silo, it's going to be the same sort of confusing mess. I did sit down to watch it with my partner, and he was just kind of like, okay, alright, and I would just be like, yes, this in the book, which is, of course, a problem that I have. I cannot help but point out things that are happening in the show that are different from the book. It is a bad habit, but again, overall, did not love this one. Most disappointing read, flat 3-star rating. Would I recommend it? If you want something that's gonna be a lot of story building and story build up, sure, absolutely. If you like sci-fi, sure. Would I ever buy this again for myself? No. I regret spending my gift card on it. I really was hoping to love it and I didn't, so for me personally, would I buy it? No. Would I recommend it to somebody? I would say if you're a fantasy reader who's moving over to sci-fi to give it a shot, maybe this book would be good for you. If you like those world building kind of aspects, this might be good for you. I'm not a fan of those myself, so take that how you will. Thank you guys for listening to my thoughts on this. Sorry that it is short. Again, I read it at the beginning of the year. I've consumed a lot since then. So, happy belated review to Wool from Hugh Howey. That was a 3-star review. Thank you for watching. If you have different thoughts, let me know. Maybe there was something I missed, and maybe I could have appreciated something more if I had a different perspective. Thanks so much. Have a good day.